was the LXR going through the timeline on a shimmer setting. Turn off the shimmer. We'll just listen to what the LXR was playing as a pattern by itself. About as simple as it gets. Then we'll listen to the 4 voices that the LXR has as individual sounds. So you put all that together, actually I'll leave the timeline off for now, and you get this. Still not too bad, even with the timeline off. So I am using a little bit of delay on the LXR, even though I am not a fan of the LXR effects. Now obviously the Midicake is doing quite a bit here in terms of making these sounds happen in interesting ways, going through octaves. Actually, if we mute the drum tracks, leave the shimmer off, and then just play with which voices are actually being sequenced. Now this is all very nice and we're playing it all in real time, which is good. But what if we actually want to make this into a song? The LXR is a pain to put chromatic synth data into, and if you want to program it step by step, well, that's even more tedious and not any fun at all. The fun's in the playing and the creating rather than the programming, I think. So happily there's a very easy way that this is done with this sort of a setup. Because the LXR is slaving off the Midicake Arp, and they're already obviously connected with the MIDI cable. All we have to do is put the LXR into record mode, play the Midicake Arp, and it'll just record all the data straight into the LXR. It's beautiful. So let's have a look at that. We go into the pattern, which is 14. Now this pattern is just actually, if we go into last step, the two percussion tracks, which is the kick drum and the snare, I've just kept it 16 steps. And the other 4 tracks, all on different MIDI channels there, as you see, I've put it 32 steps. Now we'll put that into record mode. Over here, all 4 channels are active. So that's good. This is the octave up and down, in case you're wondering what I was doing with that before. So we'll start on this note here. Now all you have to do is start it up and watch the data flow in. I've let it overlap a little bit there, but that doesn't matter. You want to make sure you get the tail properly. So we've saved that pattern. Now we'll go to the next pattern, which is 15. Now this one I've already prepared so that if you look at the last step here for these channels, it's 64 steps, still 16 on the percussion tracks, because every voice, every track here is its own little loop, does its own thing independently, so they can just stay at 16 because they're so basic. But the music tracks are all 64 steps. So imagine what an incredible pain it would be to record 64 steps of chromatic data into the LXR if you were doing it manually. Horrible job. But in this case, very easy. So it's in record mode, it's on a blank pattern. This is still the master. We're going to start up here this time. So let's go. Again, we let it overlap, but that's all right. Now we'll go save 15. So we'll go back to that other one, which was pattern 14. Take out the MIDI cable. Go to the BPM here, so it says external, so it's slave to the external clock. So I'll switch that up to our preferred BPM, which is 104. So the MIDI cable's out. This is just now an independent little unit, still running through the ICE. But let's hear that first pattern. Oops, still on record. Not even too bad with the effects off. So we've got an extraordinarily complex chromatic synth track into the LXR at absolutely no effort whatsoever, and the 2 automation tracks here are still free and available. It's a beautiful thing. Until next time, see ya.